Welcome, beautiful people, to reCULTUREview, where we review all things pop culture. Hear the latest in TV and film, music, and celebrity news, cause it's reCULTUREview. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to the last episode of reCULTUREview. It's kind of a bittersweet moment for me because I'm finna graduate and this is the last edition of the paper, meaning this is the last edition of the podcast. As of now, I don't know if I'm gonna be doing this podcast after school, but we'll just see. It holds near and dear to my heart, so you can never say never, but even though this is the last one, nothing changes. We're going to get right back into it. Once again, if you don't know what reCULTUREview is, we talk the latest in TV and film, music, and celebrity news. And without further ado, let's just get into it. It's reCULTUREview. Okay, first and foremost, as always, we have TV and film. Now, I'm going to be honest, it was kind of hard finding stuff for TV and film because most of the shows are winding down. It's not that really new things coming out, but even though they're not coming out yet, we do have some trailers that came out. So first we have Stranger Things season 4 trailer was finally released, and when I saw the trailer on YouTube, I really thought that it was fake because it wasn't the official Netflix website that posted it. But I started seeing reactors reacting to it, so I was like, oh, well, this must be the real deal. So some things in the trailer that stood out to me. Number one, the kids are really grown. Like, I knew they were grown, but I didn't know how far ago they shot it. So I didn't know if they shot it while they was grown now, but it looks like it's fairly recent. So they look to be in high school now. We also have Hopper. You know, if you didn't watch the last season, then skip past this. But if you did, then you know that Hopper got abducted and he was in Russia. So we see him fighting in Russia. We also see them talking to 11, and she's having problems at school, seems like. And she also talking about how she doesn't have her powers anymore. During one of the montages, I saw that Max looked like she was possessed. I thought that was interesting. And at the end, we saw this man. I don't even know what to describe him, but they were associating him with clocks. So I know Stranger Things is a good show, so hopefully this season is good as well. We also have the Thor Love and Thunder trailer. Well, it was kind of a teaser to me. It didn't give that much away. We see Thor enjoying life by himself. We also see the Guardians of the Galaxy. It looks like a funny movie so far. You know, the teaser showed Thor and his funny element. I feel like that's the best thing that they done with the character. After the first two movies, when Ragnarok came out, they played into Chris Hemsworth's comedy, and I think that was the best thing they could do. And at the end of the teaser, we saw Jane in her outfit with the hammer, so I thought that was cool. Moving on in TV and film, we have Bridgeman season 2 came out. It's been out for a minute, but since the last episode it came out. Of course, season 2 has different characters than season 1. They focus on Anthony, who was Daphne's brother in the first season. And I haven't watched the show, but I watched the trailer and I've seen reviews, and a lot of people were talking about the chemistry between him and the lead actress was really good. So I'm going to have to sit down and watch it, and I suggest you do too. Lastly, in TV and film, we have Ken Jeong. He's a comedian, Asian comedian, and he's one of the judges on The Masked Singer. And the last episode, he walked off the set once Rudy Giuliani was unmasked. If you don't know who Giuliani is, he was the mayor of New York, avid Trump supporter, whatever. And Ken was not having it. He walked out. Before the episode aired, it was reports that him and Robin Thicke walked out. And when I watched the episode, we don't see Robin walk out, but we physically, at least I could tell that he physically did not want to be there. So I don't know if he did walk out and they just cut it, or if he just stayed and then right after he walked out. But either way, it was just a whole mess. But that concludes it for TV and film. All right, so moving on, we are now at music. And past episodes, I have been telling you about new songs, new albums that come out, you know, But I wanted to do something a little different since it is the last episode. I think I did this the first episode. I can't even remember. It's been so long ago. But for this section of music, it's going to be kind of fast. I just want to give y'all 4 artists that you need to look out for. Some of these artists have been around for a while, but I just feel like they don't get their flowers. So number 1, we have Yebba. My first time hearing Yebba was on YouTube. She was at some kind of event and she sung My Mind. It's her original song, but she is very, very soulful. She's a white woman, but she sounds like the white version of Jasmine Sullivan. I'm not even lying to you. And recently, last year, she finally put out her first album called Done. And my favorite song on that album is Distance. It gives like a jazz vibe. I also love Boomerang and I love Love Come Down. But if you're looking for a soulful artist, then you need to listen to her. Another soulful artist, kind of soulful, kind of techno, I would say, is Nayo. If anybody who knows me knows, I love Nayo. She is such an amazing artist. I've been listening to her since her album Saturn, but even her albums before then are very good. Like I said, Saturn, her album is one of my favorite albums of all time. I'm starting to believe. I listen to it so much. A song from there that I love is Orbit. I also love the title track Saturn. And then she has a new album that came out last year, and then Life Was Beautiful. I think it came out last year. If it didn't, it came out this year. And then Life Was Beautiful. It's a very good album. I love her song with Lucky Down There, Good Luck. So if you're looking for another soulful artist, but also kind of like upbeat and catchy, you should listen to Nayo. Switching gears. Again, if anyone knows me, they know that I love all kind of music. And with that being said, I love country music. And one of my favorite country artists is Brett Young. I think one of his most popular songs is In Case You Didn't Know. But I really like his song Like I Loved You, and I like his song Catch. So if you're trying to ease in the country, I suggest you start with Brett Young. And last but not least, we have Madison Ryan Ward. I first saw her on YouTube. She did a cover of Tennessee Whiskey, and I was like, this girl needs to get signed. She has a very soulful, low-registered voice. It sounds like velvet, honestly. My favorite song by her is Broken, and I also love Mirror. So I can't see what else she comes out with. And I can't wait for y'all to hear these artists because they truly deserve to be heard. And with that, that concludes music. It's reCULTUREview. We are moving on to celebrity news. This is where we talk about the latest and what celebrities have been doing. And first off, we have this white nationalist. I don't know if he has his own podcast or if he's just, a YouTuber trying to make it work. But his name is Patrick Howley. And he got on his platform and started going off on Monica and Anthony Mackie just because they were at the CMT Awards. And if you don't know what the CMT Awards are, they're the Country Music Television Awards. It's a station and they have their own awards. And Monica ended up singing with Jimmy Allen and Anthony Mackie ended up co-hosting the show. And my thing is, why are we acting like genres are specifically for a certain skin color? If we're being honest with it, Black people created music, and that includes country music. So I don't understand why they can't be there. And we have country music artists like Jimmy Allen, like Darius Rucker. Like, we don't say anything when these white folks be at the Hip Hop Awards or at the BET Awards because it's an inclusive thing. It doesn't matter. Music is universal. It doesn't matter. Just because majority of people that listen and play country music are white doesn't mean that they need to exclude other people. So I just found that very weird that he would say that. But, people show their true colors and he can keep that where it's at. Next, in celebrity news, we have DaBaby in 2018. Y'all probably don't even remember because I didn't even remember. But he had a Walmart shooting and he claimed self-defense. Well, TMZ posted the video and his self-defense claim is kind of weakening because in the video, we see him starting with the dude. We see him shoot the dude. Then we see him come back to the dude to see what's going on with him. So I'm like, DaBaby is constantly in violent situations. I'm like, he's a violent person. He needs something needs to happen to him. He needs to get his life together. That's all I have to say on that situation. Next up, we have the Kardashians and Blac Chyna. They in court right now. Blac Chyna claims that the Kardashians are out to get her. They got her show canceled. Kardashians are claiming we don't care about you, basically. Chris testified and saying that Rob and China would always fight. China was abusive towards him and all this and that. And China is just like, they just don't like me. They doing this and that. They getting me out of money or whatever. And I just feel like it's so pointless. At the end of the day, China and the Kardashians both have to, they have to get it together, because China is the mother of Rob's child. And even though Rob claims that China barely sees Dream, but still, it's just a bad case scenario. I feel like they both need to be held accountable. Do I think court is pushing it? Yeah, but there are obviously some unresolved issues that need to be settled. Last but not least, in celebrity news, Stephen A. Smith and Jamie Foxx have been arguing because Stephen A. Smith was basically going ham on Ben Simmons. If you don't know Ben Simmons, he's a Brooklyn Nets player, and he hasn't played in like a year or so. He first started with the 76ers, but he was like, I don't want to play for you anymore, so he sat out. Then they traded him to Brooklyn, and he's still not playing. At first it was because of injury. Now he's saying mentally he just can't play. And Stephen A. Simmons basically is like, Ben Simmons is a coward for doing that. He's not taking it seriously. And Jamie Foxx was saying, like, you doing all this belittling a black man. And Stephen A. Smith went back on the show and basically was like, Jamie Foxx is a great actor. He's doing great things, but at the end of the day, he's not accredited to talk about basketball. And basically was like, I said what I said, And even though I think Stephen A. Smith's comments were a bit harsh, I feel like regardless of who it was that they did what Ben Simmons was doing, he would do the same thing. So Jamie Foxx just need to sit this one out. I understand he's trying to hype up his black brother, but, just sit this one out. And with that concludes celebrity news. It's reCULTUREview. Last but certainly not least in the show, we have the top pick. As always, if you don't know what top pick is where I pick my favorite moment since the last episode in pop culture that I want to talk about. And for this episode, my top pick is Chloe on the Terrell Show. Chloe, of course, me and Chloe Bailey from Chloe and Halle, but now Chloe's is a solo artist. She's working on her first project. And she went on the Terrell Show, which is a YouTube show where a lot of singers go and they play the game called Song Association, where you have to pick, he gives you a word and you have 10 seconds to sing a song with that word in it. And I picked this as my top pick because it was just a breath of fresh air. I feel like Chloe always gets a bad rep because of how she presents herself on social media. And it's not even how she presents herself, it's how people perceive her after she posts something. People always say she's doing too much. And she talked about it on the Terrell Show, and she was like, I'm just passionate. Like, if I love doing something, why wouldn't I be passionate about doing it if it's something that I truly love? And I agree with her. Sometimes people just do too much. They say she's doing too much, but they do too much. We've known her since she was a child, but everybody grows up, everybody, and just because of what she posts on social media doesn't mean that that's how she is as a person. It's all a brand. It's all an image that she's trying to portray to, get her image up. So I just feel like it was a breath of fresh air. She sang all the songs on there beautifully. She was very funny and very sweet, and her chemistry with Terrell was just well enjoyed. I know I'll be sitting there watching that episode back to back as the weeks, months, years go by. And with that, bittersweetly, this has been the end of reCULTUREview. As always, thank you so much for watching these past however many episodes it has been. Like I said, I don't know if I continue this, but if I do, please, I will let you guys know. Please tune in to that. And without further ado, that concludes this show and this episode. Peace.